Tonight on CTV News at 6. They are making a case for them. Politicians are once again calling for federal assistance to improve the highways. The water is rising.
2023 it was bad, but not this bad.
More homeowners in Greater Sudbury are dealing with flooding. And more accountability and transparency.
I'm also an advocate for accessibility.
There is a push to live stream police board meetings in North Bay.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Glad you joined us on this Tuesday, April 21st. A push is underway to secure major federal funding to expand Highways 11 and 17 in the north. Several politicians, including Premier Doug Ford, are calling for the routes to be designated projects of national interest. More now from CTV's Lydia Chubak.
And modernization of Highways 11.
Timiskaming Cochrane MPP John Vantoff brought forward a motion asking the province to work with the federal government to declare Highways 11 and 17 projects of national significance.
Northerners were shocked and insulted when the project of national significance was the tunnel under the 401. And why? Because not discounting the traffic in the 401 and the importance of the 401, but for my riding, it's 10 times more likely to die in my riding on 11 than it is for anyone to die on the 401.
Two Conservative ministers, George Pirie and Prabmeet Sakaria, are also calling on the federal government to fast-track progress on Highways 11 and 17. They've written to the federal transport minister asking these projects to be accelerated. They say the highways are critical to economic security, domestic supply chains, and defense readiness. Premier Doug Ford agrees and says the highways need to be safer and more reliable. But Vantoff says a motion would carry more weight.
If the government thinks that a letter to the feds is going to solve this problem and take the heat off, they're very, very wrong.
The Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities says it's encouraged to see the province highlighting the national importance of Highways 11 and 17. In a joint statement with the Northern Ontario Municipal Association, Northern leaders say Highways 11 and 17 must be shared priorities between the provincial and federal governments.
If this whole project is $7 billion, certainly we can get through it in 10 years. I mean, really, it's coming together and seeing how we can make this work, and I think we can. It's just about connecting people and governments, and we're going to facilitate that and make it work.
Vantoff acknowledges a motion can't force government action, but he hopes it would help achieve a shared goal. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
A serious crash in Sudbury this afternoon has closed the southeast bypass around 2 o'clock. Police shut down the road. Details are limited at this hour, but provincial police have confirmed the collision involved 2 vehicles and 4 drivers to expect an extended closure. CTV News is following this story. For the latest, visit our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. Greater Sudbury continues to see rising water levels, and today the city declared a state of emergency in response to the flooding. CTV's Amanda Hicks has that story.
Rob Pappen and his family are busy moving their belongings after flooding claimed the main floor of their Naughton home.
It's never been this bad. In 2023 it was bad, but not this bad. And in 2002 it was a little bit better than this, but we didn't get water in the house. This is the first year since we've been here that we actually have water in the house now.
Declaring a state of emergency.
That sense of urgency was the catalyst for a media briefing this afternoon held by Mayor Paul Lefebvre, Emergency Services and Conservation Sudbury.
Declaring a state of emergency gives the tools to the team to address this and make sure support evacuees if necessary. Put in the measures to make sure that we have the resources available to address that.
Conservation Sudbury says recent water levels have hit historic highs.
In the Whitson River recently, this weekend, was flows in that river that exceeded the 100-year flow, or the 100-year flood, and then also the Timmins flood. And so those are important benchmarks in our line of work. and so we haven't seen those exceeded in a very long time.
Fire Services says the flooding has presented unique challenges for emergency services, including rescuing 2 people last night after their vehicle got stranded on a water-covered road.
The really key message is don't drive over any water-covered road. It may only look like a couple of inches of water, but that road could have washed out underneath. There could be debris. So don't drive over any water. Stay away from swollen creek beds and rivers. And in general, you know, people have a curiosity about this, so they're naturally trying to get a look at the rising waters, and what we really need is the opposite.
Papin, meanwhile, says he is grateful he left when he did.
My hope, too, is just that everybody stays safe. I think that everybody needs to listen to emergency personnel when they're saying, you know, it's time to leave. So please, if you're told to leave, please leave.
With warmer weather in the forecast, Conservation Sudbury is expecting water levels to rise over the next 2 weeks. Officials are urging residents in low-lying areas to be prepared to leave if necessary. You can check for daily updates on their website or social media pages. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
The North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit is reminding those in affected flood areas to test their water if they rely on private drinking water systems. According to Public Health, major weather events like heavy rain and flooding can overwhelm soil filtration, and harmful bacteria can get into the wells and cistern systems. Free water sample bottles are available through Public Health. They can be picked up and dropped off in Burkes Falls, Parry Sound, North Bay, and Sturgeon Falls. And the municipality of French River is in need of volunteers to fill sandbags as it continues to deal with rising water. More than 4,000 bags have already been handed out to homes under threat, and they only have a few hundred on standby. The community is expecting to see more water towards the end of the week. Officials are still asking people to be prepared. Those interested in filling sandbags are being encouraged to show up at the Albin Fire Hall daily at 8:30 in the morning or 1 p.m. You'll be asked to sign a waiver. You're also being asked to bring a shovel. A safety tutorial will be provided. A judge in Sault Ste. Marie has handed down his sentence in a child abduction case that happened in Thessalon in 2023. CTV's Corey Nordstrom has the latest from the courthouse.
Manoj Govind Balanikam, the man charged with abducting a Thessalon child, is being sentenced to 18 months behind bars. The decision was rendered today by Justice Michael Varpio here at the Sault Ste. Marie courthouse, where he says this sentence aims to send a clear message to both the 37-year-old perpetrator and society, with a focus on denunciation and deterrence. Defense for the former realtor had argued previously that the situation was a cultural misunderstanding, also saying that an extended sentence may impact Govind Balanikam's ability to stay in the country. Justice Varpio rejected both, stating that the guilty party has been in Canada for 12 years and is educated enough to know Canadian cultural norms. The judge made clear that Govind Balanikam's risk of deportation was not a factor in his decision. The 37-year-old had used promises of ice cream and a fidget spinner to lure the boy into his car, which the Crown viewed as grooming. However, Justice Varpio said he was not presented with any evidence suggesting a sexual intent as part of the abduction. In addition to the 18-month prison sentence, Govind Balanikam will be on probation for 3 years following his release. He also has a non-contact order with the victim, a DNA order, a weapons prohibition, and must attend counseling. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Provincial police near North Bay found the victim of intimate partner violence on Highway 11 late Friday night. Police say they were alerted to an assault. When they arrived, they found the victim on the shoulder of Highway 11 in Merrick Township. The victim was taken to hospital by EMS, while the suspect was found a short while later. Police say a handgun was found in the vehicle, adding to the charges for the 22-year-old accused. You can read more about this story and all of our stories on our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. Okay, let's talk about the weather. A much warmer day out there, and things are looking pretty good for the rest of the week. To tell us more, here's CTV's Rick Wyman.
Oh, Tony, yes, the sun is making its rightful appearance in Northeastern Ontario. Just a hint of showers come Friday and Saturday. We'll check that a little bit later on the 7-day forecast. Systems map, of course, issued by Environment Canada, looking pretty good for the next couple of days. Loads of sunshine. In Temiskaming Shores and Timmins, a lot of sunshine coming up. You'll be really delightfully surprised. So again, we'll also check out your current temperatures, a far cry from last night's chilly temperatures, 7-day forecast, pick of the day, and a lot more, Tony. Certainly hope you enjoy your evening. Back to you.
I will. Thanks, Rick. Open and transparent. Still to come on CTV News at 6. There is a movement in North Bay to live stream police board meetings. But first, we're heading to downtown Timmins, and this live webcam is courtesy of the city of Timmins. It's 12 degrees. We're back in just a few minutes.
Pure Country 91.7. Sudbury's home for the best country music. Listen for your chance to win $50,000 with Pure Country's big $50K payday.
There's a push underway in North Bay to have police board meetings live streamed so people can learn more about decisions made by elected officials and police. CTV's Eric Tashner has the story.
I'm here today to make a formal recommendation.
Melanie Demers is all for accountability and transparency.
I'm also an advocate for accessibility.
Having a sociology background, Demers has a keen interest in politics. She attended her first board meeting and was given a chance to present the case to members to have the meetings more available to the public.
The message from the Ombudsman, and this is a direct quote, is when in doubt, open the meeting.
Demers argues taxpayers want up-to-date information on where and how their money is being spent. The board meeting is open to the public to attend in person, and the agenda is posted online. But Demers argues not everyone can be there to hear from community leaders.
And in fact, the Ombudsman of Ontario does recommend that the board meetings are live streamed.
It's been done in other communities, and it's been done in other communities where I was a police chief.
Demers has learned police board meetings are live streamed in several cities in southern Ontario.
And it's been very successful.
The North Bay Police Board already has a Zoom capability set up. Demers sees it as a chance to open the meeting up at the end for a question and answer period with members of the public.
Incorporate the feedback from the residents that are chatting and use it to improve their services.
Board member and Deputy Mayor Maggie Horsfield agreed with the concept, saying she would vote in favor for a live stream option if a motion is tabled.
We can definitely talk to the police service staff about having that link published for folks to be able to tune in.
In Sudbury, anyone can attend meetings in person or virtually, and the recordings are published online. The Timmins Police Services Board does not live stream its meetings. However, each meeting link is accessible to the public upon request. And in the Sioux, board meetings are open, and anyone wishing to attend is asked to contact the board administrator for the link. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Also at the meeting, North Bay's police board is giving almost $300,000 back to the city after reporting more than a $1 million surplus in its budget. The police chief updated the board today that the surplus is now a little over $2.5 million. Finding an additional $1.3 million, the board agreed to set aside $1 million into the police purposes reserve account and give $284,000 back to the city.
We want to be good community partners. We recognize the tax base has seen significant strains on the taxpayer in this community, so we want to do our part.
With the successful applications of additional grants that weren't in line with when the budget was put forward, as we know, we're only finding out about it now, just with how it aligns with the provincial budget. Those funds are what's really making up the rest of that increase.
Chief Longworth notes the entire surplus was driven by vacancies the police service couldn't fill and through grant funding it received while competing against other police agencies. Public Health Sudbury District says children in the catchment area are over 93% vaccinated. Data collected as part of Ontario's annual review under Immunization of School Pupils Act shows positive immunization trends in its service area. The data shows the highest immunization rate is for rubella. at nearly 96%, with whooping cough on the lowest end at 93%. As part of its strategy to prevent or mitigate post-traumatic stress, the Greater Sudbury Police Service is expanding its spiritual team. The spiritual team is just one of many programs and services available to address member wellness. The chief updated the board on the PTSD prevention plan. A new wellness coordinator now provides mental health support to members when needed, which could include an incident debriefing coordinator, a psychologist, or even fitness and nutritional guidance. The multi-faith team provides spiritual and emotional support, and the board wants to open it up to more clergy.
I think very often in crises, it is that faith issue that brings light to darkness, and that is really important. And you know what? That's not in a budget, that's not in dollars or cents, that's not in equipment, that's really helping truly the wellness and the well-being of that individual.
Lougheed says clergy on the spiritual team also perform ceremonies like weddings and funerals for police members and their families. Provincial police in Sault Ste. Marie have released body cam footage of a winter rescue after a wildlife photographer got lost on Whitefish Island.
What's going on? So my friend, she went exploring down here. Now she called me. She's went off trail. Now she's missing down here.
Officers arrived to help the 40-year-old woman, but the snow was too deep to walk her out, and she had lost a boot in the snow. Police called in fire services with a sled to pull her to safety. She suffered hypothermia and frostbite, but police say it could have been much worse if she'd not been found when she had been. The woman agreed to let OPP release the video in the hopes others will learn from her experience and stay safe on wintry trails. Back now for a check on your current conditions with Rick.
Tony, night after night I talk about the extremes in temperatures. Good some nights, not so good on others. We've got a good night going here. First, our forecast radar looking awfully good because tomorrow's going to look real good in the northeast. Maybe some rain at the end of the week, Friday and Saturday. We'll get to that in the 7-day forecast. Now your numbers across the northeast this hour: 9 degrees, sun and cloud in Moosonee, 8 in Cochrane, 11 in Timmins, again sunshine, 13 in Cap with sunshine, 14 in Chapleau with sunshine, 6 in Wawa, 16 in Sault Ste. Marie with sunny skies, sun and cloud in 13 degrees in Parry Sound. So once again, we move on up to North Bay, 11 sun and cloud, Temiskaming Shores 9 sunny skies, Kirkland Lake 8 degrees and sunshine. Greater Sudbury, some sun, some cloud at 10, 13 in Espoo, some sun and cloud, 14 Elliott Lake, sunshine, and Gore Bay this hour 9 degrees, loads of sunshine. There you have it. A far cry from last night's chillier temperatures across the northeast. Your 7-day forecast, Tony, is coming up.
Thanks, Rick. It's a sad day. Next on CTV News at 6, a Canadian tourist is shot and killed while on a pyramid in Mexico. And Canada announces the members of its trade council with the U.S. Mexican authorities say the mass shooting at a heritage site near Mexico City that left one Canadian woman dead and another Canadian along with 12 others injured was not spontaneous. The gunman has been identified as Julio Cesar Yasso. Authorities say he stayed at hotels in the area prior to the shooting to get close to the site. Mexico's president is promising a full investigation.
Our solidarity with the family of the person who passed away and to everyone who is being assisted at hospitals and who lived through this situation yesterday. Our obligation is always to share the information that we have and to continue informing the Mexican people and, of course, the media.
President Sheinbaum says she has spoken to Canadian officials and she has instructed her security cabinet to investigate. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Mark Carney expressed his condolences today.
Our hearts go out to the family and friends of the individual who was tragically killed. It's a terrible circumstance. I very much appreciate President Sheinbaum's personal attention to the matter, and we're working with Mexican authorities on the situation, but it's a sad day.
More uncertainty around possible peace talks between the U.S. and Iran. We are now hearing that Vice President J.D. Vance's trip to Pakistan is on hold. Earlier, the Associated Press reported that both countries had signaled they were set to restart negotiations, but reports now say the talks are in jeopardy. A ceasefire in the war is due to expire tomorrow, and President Trump says he won't extend it.
I don't want to do that. We don't have that much time because by the time both parties get there, you know, they just got the okay to go forward, which I knew they were going to do anyway. I mean, I don't think they had a choice. They have to negotiate.
Meanwhile, U.S. forces boarded an oil tanker that had been sanctioned for smuggling Iranian crude oil in the Indian Ocean today. The Pentagon says U.S. forces boarded the ship without incident. The U.S. has tried to prevent any vessel tied to Iran or suspected of carrying supplies that could help its government. With the upcoming CUSMA negotiations, the Prime Minister unveiled a new Trade Advisory Council today. It's a group of familiar political faces, along with a mix of union, industry, and titans of finance. CTV's Michael LeCouture breaks down the mandate of this diverse, nonpartisan panel.
As the cross-border tensions ramp up in the playoffs, the Prime Minister is assembling his own team to enter the trade arena with the U.S.
I'm very pleased to have that group. It's a diverse group, leaders from the union movement, experts in industry.
A Carney's reconstituted Canada-U.S. Advisory Committee brings together 24 CEOs, former politicians, and business leaders. Holdovers from the previous version include Unifor President Lana Payne, former Quebec Premier Jean Charest, and Flavio Volpe, President of the Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association. Now, there are plenty of new faces, including former Conservative leader Aaron O'Toole, the President of the Aluminum Association of Canada, Jean Simard, and the head of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce.
We can't forget about our small and medium enterprise businesses. That's 98% of our businesses, and so I look forward to sharing that perspective as part of the committee.
Hearing from people impacted by the Canada-U.S. trade war is key, according to the committee's chair.
I think it'll help our negotiations and it'll help the Government of Canada be informed in terms of these different perspectives.
A Conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre, didn't criticize the committee, but he did take aim at the lack of progress in the negotiations.
He's done absolutely nothing on this file in the last year other than use it to stoke fear and distract from his catastrophic failings here at home.
So how far behind is Canada in negotiations? Well, U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer is meeting with his Mexican counterpart to discuss CUSMA at the end of May. There are no such meetings scheduled for Canada and the U.S. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
And there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
I've got to admit, I'm really happy to unveil the details of a very promising weather forecast for the next couple of days. Lots of sunshine coming up, but first, forecast radar as issued by Environment Canada. Looking awfully good for the next couple of days. We do have some precipitation in the works for maybe Friday, chance of showers on Saturday. We'll keep a close eye on that. Overnight, a few clouds, Greater Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie clear, fog patches Timmins, Temiskaming Shores, partly cloudy, and North Bay, partly cloudy as well. Continuing in Moosonee, chance of sleet, some shower activity, some flurries, a little bit of everything. Kapuskasing-Hearst, partly cloudy, clear, Wawa, Gore Bay clear, cloudy in Parry Sound. Now let's have a look now at your 7-day numbers. Sudbury, Nickel Belt, sunshine and 14 for tomorrow. Thursday, sun and cloudy 11. 11 on Friday, as I mentioned about the chance of showers. 60% chance on Saturday at 10. 13 Sunday, sun and cloud. Monday, sun and cloud at 15. Here we go now with Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma. Sunshine and 13. Cloud cover Thursday. Friday, we've got sun and cloud at 11. Chance of showers Saturday, only 5. 11 on Sunday, sun and cloud Monday at 13. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, mainly sunny tomorrow at 10. Thursday, we've got 8 degrees, sun and cloud. Couple of days of sunshine, Friday, Saturday at 10 and 11. 13, Sunday, sun and cloud. Monday, sun and cloud, all the way up to 15. That's 5 degrees higher than normal for this time of the year, so you'll appreciate that. coming up in just a few days. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake. Talk about a streak you've got going Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Probably the best looking 4-day stretch that you've seen in quite some time. 13, 10, 11, and 12, your daytime highs right through until Saturday. Okay, Sunday, sun and cloud, 13, then 16 degrees come Monday, sun and cloud. That's a whopping 5 degrees higher than your normal for this time of the year. Even your evening temperatures are looking really good across the Northeast these days. So again, spring is approaching, and it's just a matter of time before the snow clears and we get in full swing mode for spring. North Bay, West Nipissing, here we go. Sunshine and 15 for tomorrow. Thursday, sun and cloud at 10. Chance of showers Friday and Saturday, 11 and 12. Sunday, sun and cloud 13. Monday, sun and cloud 17. I know I'm getting excited about the weather forecast. It looks very good for this time of the year. Let's check out our pick of the day now. Mr. Producer, thank you so much. Brenda Lee sends this in, some fog over the St. Joseph's Island Bridge. And Brenda Lee, I certainly appreciate that. So again, keep up the good work with the picks. We'll have more coming up tomorrow. Don't forget, Tony has more news after the break.
Toronto police say there has been an increase in counterfeit money circulating in the GTA, especially hundreds and $50 bills. If you are planning to sell something for cash or have a business, you need to be careful you don't get scammed. CTV's Pat Foran has details.
Lisa Polyakova of North York now has a stack of fake hundreds and $50 bills. She was trying to sell an iPhone 15 Pro Max on Facebook Marketplace, and someone agreed to buy it.
He will come on April 5th to pick up the phone, and he will bring $900 cash.
Polyakova met the buyer in the lobby of her condo, and after he examined the phone, he agreed to purchase it and gave her the cash.
When he first handed you this money, did you think it looked like real money?
Yes.
But when Polyakova took the bills to a bank machine, it refused to accept them.
It took the money in, and then on this, it was like counting the items, and then on the screen it showed unrecognized items.
When she went to a teller, they confirmed the bills were counterfeit.
He showed me like the signs that it's fake, like look at the color. The magnetic stripe is coming off. The serial numbers are a repeat.
In January, we did a story with a trailer company which was also scammed. A person bought a trailer for $12,000 cash, but half the money was counterfeit.
We did purchase money counters right now for all our locations, and I've told my entire team to double check every bill.
We've seen a definite upsurge in counterfeit cash.
Toronto police say in 2025 they collected $94,000 in counterfeit bills, but so far this year they've already surpassed that amount, collecting $133,000 in fake currency.
The person is going to try to rush you. They're going to tell you they're in a hurry. They've got to rush. They've got to grab the product and run out the door. Those are things people should be aware of, and just take your time.
Feel, look, and flip.
For more information on spotting counterfeit notes, you can check the Bank of Canada's website.
Tilt the note to make sure the metallic portrait and building change colors.
Polyakova has to hand over her fake bills to police this week. She will no longer be accepting cash selling goods through social media. Pat Foran, CTV News.
When it comes to getting quick medical advice, more Canadians are turning to AI tools like ChatGPT. But doctors are once again warning about the dangers, saying it can do more harm than good and put patients at risk. Here's CTV's John Menavali-Rao.
I can do almost anything that could possibly be asked of me.
In videos posted by the Canadian Medical Association, doctors can be seen urging caution about the use of AI.
Do you ever use ChatGPT for health advice?
Something a lot of people do when they have a medical issue.
I think it's just a quick way to get a little bit of quick advice.
If my back starts hurting, I'm just going to go on ChatGPT, for example, and I'm going to be like, I did this and my back hurts. And then it's going to start giving me a whole list of things, and I'm just like, okay.
But physicians warning, while often free and fast, the advice can also be wrong.
If individuals decide to go online, I would say they have to be very curious and very cautious.
In a survey of more than 600 Canadian doctors, 97% said they'd had to intervene to prevent harm or address consequences after a patient followed false or misleading health information online, including from an AI.
So the problems are that the patient thinks they have one diagnosis when in fact they don't. They may have delayed treatment. They may have tried treatments that didn't work.
Some say they've turned to an AI because they don't have a family doctor.
I have a friend who would ask ChatGPT. Her reasoning was it's too much hassle to go, like book a doctor's appointment.
But the Canadian Medical Association says patients should always get a human expert to weigh in. In a recent study published in the journal BMJ Open, health questions were posed to 5 major AI models. 30% of the responses were deemed somewhat problematic. 20% were considered highly problematic.
They're not always accurate, and your best bet is to talk to a health professional or at least understand the sources when you're online looking for information.
And while AIs continue to rapidly improve, experts say they still struggle to reason like a human doctor. John Valley-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
Royal Canadian Legion Branch 76 in Sudbury presented a $10,000 check today to the Health Sciences North Foundation. Members say over the years, the Legion has donated more than $200,000 to the hospital foundation. The money came from last year's Poppy campaign. Officials with the HSN Foundation say the donation will go toward buying equipment to help in diagnosing and managing throat cancers.
This all comes from the Poppy campaign. We can't thank the people of Greater Sudbury enough. They have been very generous, and they help us continue to support our veterans and families.
It's incumbent upon all branches of the Royal Canadian Legion to hold these funds in trust and to let the public know where the money is being spent. And I can't think of a better cause to spend the money than to spend it to HSN Cancer Foundation.
This long-standing relationship continues to support and take care of the community in so many ways. Their Poppy campaign that they do every year has supported us so many times over.
Young says the Legion hopes to continue donating to the HSN Foundation, adding many veterans are impacted by cancer. It was a royal surprise for a young girl from Kitchener. A 5-year-old sent a picture to the King of England and got something special back in return. CTV's Karis Mapp has the details.
The happiest day due to an unexpected regal response. Grace Connell, like many 5-year-olds, loves to create art and draws inspiration from the world around her.
I just think of something what I could draw and then I draw it on a paper.
So when the royal family piqued her interest, she began her research.
I was asking Mom how I wanted to know how old they were, and then I knew, but when I went to school the next day, my friend was there, and I drew something with her.
With hopes of the picture making it overseas to King Charles himself.
It was actually a drawing of a king and queen and princess that she sent. I didn't take a picture or anything of it because I honestly didn't think we'd get anything back. So I just addressed it to Buckingham Palace and put 6 stamps on it and sent it with our home address.
Sent at the end of February, Grace would then ask her family to check the mailbox every week to see if she got a reply.
After a few weeks, I'd thought maybe I should, use ChatGPT or something to draw up a letter and mail it to her on behalf.
An idea that turned out to be unnecessary.
She had asked to check the mail one more time, which reminded me I hadn't sent the letter. When we went to the mailbox, and it was Sunday, it was April, right after Easter, I think, and we went to the mailbox with my nephew, and sure enough, there was a letter addressed from the Queen and King, their correspondence, Buckingham Palace, addressed to Grace.
The Queen and King!
A personalized letter from the head of royal correspondence, thanking the young girl on behalf of the royal family. According to Buckingham Palace's website, the king has shown almost all of the letters he receives and takes a keen interest in hearing from the public.
The fact that it noted her splendid drawing and that the king passed on his warmest wishes was unbelievably touching for her and for us.
Meanwhile, Grace says her favorite part has been her family's reaction.
Like being proud of me.
Karis Mapp, CTV News, Kitchener.
He's multi-talented and he's heading north. Still ahead on CTV News at 6. Comedian Eric Johnston is coming to Sault Ste. Marie and making other stops on his Son of a Bull comedy tour.
Clothing provided by Laura, Melanie Lynn.
He is a comedian on tour and will be making several stops in the Northeast, including tomorrow in Sault Ste. Marie. Eric Johnston is also an actor, MC, and author, and you're also multi-talented. Eric now joins us from Hamilton. Hi there, sir.
Here I am, multi-talented, and I'm heading north with a car full of merchandise and pre-ironed shirts ready to rock.
How difficult is it to turn everyday observations into jokes?
I mean, that's my whole thing. It's not even just everyday observations. It's everyday observations about my life and my history. My father was a professional wrestler by the name of Bullwhip Danny Johnson. I'm wearing his T-shirt, so I've got a bunch of stories about growing up as a child of a professional wrestler, and now in my 15-year comedy career, I've got stories about the road. I just had a son 16 months ago who's, I'm sure, screaming upstairs somewhere right now, and that whole process of having him, and we even went through fertility treatments and stuff to have our son. It's all on the table for my show. I do 60 minutes and there's not one lie in the show. Exaggerations, of course, but lies, none.
Do you have site-specific jokes, for the Sault, Timmins, Matheson, and Sudbury?
I mean, yes, I've gone up there so much. I mean, again, I've been doing comedy 15 years. I have a whole career that lives in Northern Ontario that I visit once or twice a year. I've done every small town and inlet and place in Northern Ontario, and I truly do love going to places like Sault Ste. Marie, Timmins, Matheson, New Liskeard, Sudbury, Lively. I mean, Lively is the perfectly named town. I love Lively, and it's going to be lively when I'm there in a couple weeks. You learn so much about the people, and you learn that we really are all the same. And yeah, it's a little colder up there, and I've never been ice fishing in my life, but I've heard a lot of ice fishing stories. I've learned about the culture, and Sault Ste. Marie and Hamilton are very similar. It's steel towns and hardworking. A lot of Italians, same with Timmins, and then you get into the small towns, and I can pretty much just do my show as written, but then I can throw in the little bits of local references that I've learned over the years.
You talked about the audiences, and you've performed in the U.S. How different are the crowds there compared to Canadian audiences?
I mean, it's going down to the States is huge. I've done shows at the Laugh Factory in Chicago. I've performed at the Comedy Store on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, California. To be honest, I prefer performing in Sault Ste. Marie and Timmins and all of Northern Ontario. The big shows are big down there and they're great, but I know my people are in Canada. I'm a Canadian stand-up comic with a lot to say and a lot of stories to tell, but I love it. I love going down to the States and being that funny Canadian guy, and I go down for a week, I do all the shows, and then I come home, and then I'm back on the road in Canada.
Eric, tell us about your docuseries, Run with the Bull, on Bell 5 TV1.
Yeah, brand new series just came out a couple Thursdays ago. It's a 6-part TV show. Basic premise of the show is a 35-year-old stand-up comedian wants to be the best version of himself, mind, body, soul, spirit, in the benefit of his son, his 16-month-old son, because unfortunately my father passed away when I was young. And I didn't want to have my son go through that, so I go through this whole experience, again, mind, body, soul, to be the best version of myself. I'm so proud of the show. It's available on the Bell 5 TV1 app.
Eric, thanks so much for your time. Break a leg.
I'm so excited. Let's go.
He joined us from Hamilton, and to find out more about his tour, head to ericjohnstonwho.com. It's been 1 week since Yes Theatre's latest production hit the stage, and the cast and crew say they feel a huge weight lifted off their shoulders.
It's incredible. It's so gratifying. It's surreal, and you almost feel a bit of imposter syndrome. Like, is this really happening? Like, did I really make a musical with all these people? This is incredible. But it's fantastic, and it's not the end of the journey. There's still more we want to do with the show, but this is an incredible milestone moment for us.
The sci-fi narrative is accompanied by 90s rock composed and written by Anton Lipovetsky. The play is set in 1996 in BC and follows two siblings navigating the mysterious disappearance of their father.
We've experienced this from the very, very beginning, right? It started as just an outreach of, hey, does anyone have a musical they want to write? Let's commission it, let's work, let's give them the resources. And this has been 5 years in the making.
And Dietz says it's been nerve-wracking because audience members have no prior knowledge of the storyline, but he is happy to see how the community has trusted Yes Theatre. The production has also been extended until May 2nd. There's playoff action in Sudbury and Timmins tonight. In Timmins, the NOJHL Championship final continues as the Sudbury Cubs head north looking to defeat the Rock on home ice. Puck drop for Game 3 is 7 o'clock at the MAC. And in Sudbury, the Basketball Super League final hits the hardwood. It's a must-win Game 3 for the Sudbury Five as they play host to the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. Tip-off is 7 p.m. Many people in Southern Ontario may claim to be major Buffalo Bills fans, but one Brantford man now has the title to prove it. Daryl Russell has been recognized as the team's International Fan of the Year. CTV's Alexandra Hollick has his story.
The jacket and I got the pants.
Daryl Russell is suiting up in his Sunday night football best. The perfect shade of Buffalo Bills blue, fit for a superfan.
Everyone knows. If they think of me, they know, oh, that's the Bills guy.
The Bills know it too, naming Russell as the team's International Fan of the Year.
And then when they told me, I admit, I started to tear up and I cried a bit because I think of my brother.
His brother Jason introduced Russell to the Bills in the early 90s.
I started to watch and then I'm like, okay, I'm getting hooked.
Russell says his love and loyalty never wavered, even when the team saw a 17-year drought.
This is painful, but I love it. I mean, I love them that much. Like, I'm a little bit over the top, as you can tell.
From signed jerseys.
This one here is an actual autograph from Josh Allen.
To superstitious pregame rituals.
I don't watch games with anybody unless they're a die-hard fan, then they can come here.
Russell says he takes pride in his new title, which comes with special perks. As part of his recognition, Russell will represent fans in Pittsburgh at the NFL Draft later this week.
I get to go on stage, say a draft pick and announce the player, so that's exciting. So.
Paying tribute to a shared passion 11 years after his brother's battle with cancer.
I think it's a little sentimental too because I wish my brother was here, obviously, to share it with me. Sorry, but yeah, it's been amazing.
A touching moment for the touchdown of a fan's lifetime. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Brantford.
Entertainment brought to you by the Cinefest Red Carpet Patron Program.
A new stunt today from Canadian rapper Drake. It's a huge ice sculpture in downtown Toronto. Somewhere inside that ice is the release date of the Toronto rapper's next album called Iceman. The giant sculpture didn't melt because it was too cold overnight, but have no fear, the temperature in Toronto is expected to warm up later this week, and maybe we'll find out the release date of the new album. It's practically magic. This sequel is being made after 30 years. David Daniel tells us which movie it is in tonight's Hollywood Report.
You're the Owen sisters.
Yeah, everyone we love dies.
Oh, right.
A really horrible death. But, I mean, it's not great for the Tinder bio.
Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock teach a new generation to put the lime in the coconut in the teaser trailer for Practical Magic 2. Stockard Channing and Diane Wiest also return for the long-awaited sequel to the 1998 romantic fantasy, which is due in theaters in September.
Foul tarnished. In search of the Elden Ring.
The Elden Ring movie has a release date. The adaptation of the critically acclaimed dark fantasy role-playing game, which is based on a story by Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin, is set to arrive in theaters March 3rd, 2028. Warfare and Civil War filmmaker Alex Garland is writing and directing the movie, which is beginning production in the UK. Putting these foolish ambitions to rest in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Some Canadian companies are eligible for refunds of American tariffs. BNN Bloomberg's Morella Fernandez has more.
Washington collected about $160 billion in tariffs that the U.S. Supreme Court later deemed illegal. Walmart's filing a claim. It's owed an estimated $10 billion. Nike could get a $1 billion refund. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business says about a third of Canadian exporters paid hefty tariffs because their goods did not qualify under the CUSMA exemption. Refund claims go through U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.15. West Texas Intermediate is up over $2 to 89.67. Western Canadian Select up over $3 to 68.48. And the TSX lost 551 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
Here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold down $110.45, closing the day at $47.1910 US an ounce. Silver down $3.16 to end the day at $76.86. Copper up 2 cents to $5.98, and nickel down 10 cents, ending the day at $8.23 US a pound. Now I have the pleasure of presenting you with a look at Wednesday's weather. Expect a lot of sunshine in through Sudbury, 14 degrees. Timmins, 10 degrees, mainly sunny, 13 in through Sault Ste. Marie. Look at all that beautiful sunshine. As we head on over to North Bay, sunshine and 15 degrees. Parry Sound, clear skies and 10, and in through Temiskaming Shores, 13 degrees Celsius and beautiful sunshine. And finally, work has resumed on dismantling the superstack in Coppercliff, and a Val-Caron resident has shared some footage of Vale's undertaking. The mining company confirmed work is underway on the top of the superstack, as shown in the videos La Croix Drone Services shared with CTV News. Vale says it's dependent on the weather, but the current phase is expected to be completed in the coming weeks. However, crews will continue on dismantling towards the end of May. Vale is reminding the public that drone operations over or near the superstack is strictly prohibited, as it could create safety issues for workers. And folks, that's CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. Thanks for watching. More news at 11:30 with Ian Campbell. Good night.